Hi, I'm Kristen of White Arrows. Welcome to our lakeside log cabin home in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. I'm so excited to share with you the vintage finds that have found their way into my home this month. It is exciting. It is a treasure hunt. Each time I walk into the thrift shop, each time I go into the antique store, each time I go on a adventure with my friends to a vintage market, I always find things, or actually things find me, that are just really super special. So whether it's something that's nostalgic to me and just speaks to my heart because of a memory, or just that thought of good times had, that I know can add to good times now, or if it's something that I've had on my list, or just something I love for the patterns and colors, I never quite know for sure what I'm going to end up with. Sometimes I do have a list, but sometimes I'm just going in to see what draws me. And sometimes I just walk through just for the fun of looking. So here's what I came up with this month. One of the things is just this sweet little napkin holder. So this is something, it's pewter, it's got those beautiful roses on it, that I thought could be cute on the table, on the counter to put some napkins in. But I also love using things in different ways. So there's a lot of things that you could use this for. I'm thinking taco holder, but that's not quite what I was thinking. I was thinking I would use it to hold letters. So whether I use it to hold the bills that I need to pay this month, but no, I don't want to keep those out in front of me. I think I'm going to use it to keep the note cards in that I'm going to write. I love to write at least one thank you or thinking of you card a day. So I keep a list of people that I want to stay in touch with, or that I want to send a note to, or that I want to write a thank you to. It could be for something specific, like they've given me a gift, or it could be just because, or it could be because I've noticed something wonderful in them and I just want to say thank you for doing that. So I love finding sweet cards that I can send out, and I love having a packaged thing of stationery and envelopes. So I thought these would be super sweet on my desk, ready to go, because one of the things that can always help with a habit, like one of giving gratitude and sending notes out, is to see it. So on my desk, I keep a drawer that's full of those note cards. But if I keep some of them in a pretty display up on the desk, then it will for sure remind me that I need to go and write the letter. So I just love doing that, and I thought that this would be a really sweet little feminine touch on my desk to keep the notes in. So I loved this little find. It was only a couple bucks, and it just felt super, super sweet. So I was excited about that. One of the things that I collect here at the cabin are Boy Scout and Girl Scout things. So it might also be campfire girls. It could be any kind of scouting. So I found this great Girl Scout handbook that I didn't have yet, and I just loved the green color with the yellow stripes. It says Girl Scout Handbook. So I loved the look of this. I loved the spine. I love the front. So whether I put this together, sometimes I pull out books to decorate with on certain colors. So if I'm doing spring, I've often pulled green books out. So this could end up with my spring books, but it could also end up with my scouting things, and a vignette with my Girl Scout items. I usually have most of those things in our bunk room, or it might be just on a book. I was not a Girl Scout myself. I was a campfire girl for maybe just a year, but I was a little bluebird for a year. And I do have a cute picture of me in that, and I still do have my sash with my patches, but I was not a Girl Scout. But I still just love the nostalgia of camping, earning the badges, going on the camping adventures, making the friendships, all the great things that went along with scouting. And there are so many great books and pieces of memorabilia from that. So I love collecting these books and was excited to find this one with this great cover on it to add to the collection. I also, it's always fun to look back and see what's inside the tissue, because then sometimes when I get home I'm like, what was the other thing I got? And it ends up being like I got a gift. So as I unwrap this, so this is really fun. I love anything that's this like beautiful crystal. I love collecting syrup dispensers. So it looks a little bit like the vintage syrup dispensers that I have, but all the ones that I have, the little syrup ones, are different sizes and different glass bottoms, but they're all red on the top. This one is a silver top, and it's easy to come off. It's got the holes. So whatever I decide we want to shake out of it, if it's some cinnamon and sugar for some toast, if it's some seasoning to go on top of some pasta. So we'll have to see what I think fits in the holes. But my first thought was to make it a surprise when my mom comes, because one of my mom's little sweet treats that she would love to have once in a while that makes her feel nostalgic and like a kid again is cinnamon toast. So to have out by the toaster some fresh loaf of sourdough and some butter, and I have this beautiful little melt glass butter cover that I put over the butter, and then have this for her cinnamon toast. Sometimes I love to just think of things that can come back into the home that are so simple, but they make a memory. So like when the grandkids come, that they could have some cinnamon toast and they get to shake it out with this, or brings back a memory for someone that I care about and love. Just the little special touches. That takes no extra energy whatsoever. It's not like I have to make a whole extra meal, but it's just a little wow. It's like getting a little hug. So I just thought this was so beautiful to have out and to use as a little special something, a little layer. So it just adds a little layers on. And then not a big piece to keep stored away when I'm not using it either. So that's fun. You may have also seen the DIY to use little doilies as your flower frog. So if you know what a flower frog is, you can buy them in so many different styles. That's another fun thing to collect, are flower frogs, whether you keep them in your greenhouse with your gardening or potting or bouquet making things, or you use them just as they are because they're just little works of art anyways, to stick your stems in as you do flowers. I love collecting them. I also love using the some of the flower frogs that I have to hold pictures or vintage postcards. You can stick them right in and then they stand up. But there's also where you can use a doily. So you can take your vase or even like a mason jar, put the doily right on top, and then you stick the flowers through the holes, and it helps them stand upright, it helps them get adjusted, and it adds this little frilly extra to your jar. So this was a easy little grab that was just $1, because I thought, oh, that would be another great one to use as a flower frog. And I do think that's how I'm going to use this one, as for a flower frog. But I also could have gotten it to add as a patch. I could even just pin it to use once in a while and put a brooch in the middle of it. How pretty would this little doily with a brooch on my jacket be during the day? So there are different ways that I could use it. A patch on my jeans. Put this right over the knee or on the leg, wherever you need a little patch. So little doilies are a great thing to pick up when you see them. And this one was super, super, super sweet. So I was excited about that. Oh, I'm always just so excited to see what I get and to go back through them. Again, a lot of the finds are not much money. This is so easy to keep stored away. One of the things I have though, because when I find a few things every month, that also means a few things go out. and some of the things that go out go to my shop. So I have a brick and mortar store here in Wisconsin in Minocqua, up in the North Woods. And you can find us at whitearrowshometheshop.com. Every solitary thing in the store is also online, so you can shop it from anywhere. We're open Monday through Saturday at the brick and mortar from 10 to 3, but you can find us anytime. We ship, we hold things till you get here, all those kind of things. So you can reach out with any questions anytime. And we also love to have you come and visit in person. We love our followers and our customers. But sometimes things from my own home end up in the shop. So whether it's something that I never ended up using, because if I don't use it, it's kind of like my closet. If I haven't worn something, then it gets given away. If I haven't decorated with something, same thing, it gets given away. Not family heirlooms, but other decor pieces that maybe I thought I would use and I haven't, get taken to the shop. So that's really a fun way to be able to find things that I know if I love it, there's so many other people that are gonna love it too. So as things come in, some things go out also. So be sure to visit us over there. These last two things that I found this month are really, really special to me. So one of the things I always have my eyes out for are these beautiful wood frames. So can you see the detailing? They're just perfect for cabins. They're so nostalgic of what you would have found in a cabin. And these are still in their old frames. I just love when you see that. When they were done so well and they're still ready to hang, originally framed. And there's two of them. I got two, and they say a Bible verse on them. So I thought these would be super sweet in the our guest room. So this one says, "My God shall supply all your need," Philippians 4:19. And faith in my God is the most important thing to me. So when I can decorate throughout my home and share that with other people, that is a yes for me to take home. And when it blends so beautifully into my own style too, it's not just something from Hobby Lobby, even though I do have a few of those kind of things around too. But this is a really special one, these beautiful, beautiful framed verses, because the verses are the real treasure. Christ's words, the Bible, that is the true treasure. So the other one says, this is one of my favorites, "Abide in me and I in you." So how pretty are these to frame together? I'm not quite sure where I'm putting them yet. So whether they're gonna go next to each other horizontally or vertically, or not make just a gallery. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do them yet, but I just adored these. I love the graphics, the font, and the verses picked out in the frames. So that's that when I'm talking about that you walk in somewhere and then you think, oh, those were waiting here for me. That's how I felt when I found these. I couldn't believe also a lot of times you find these frames and they are broken and chipped, and these were both in perfect shape. So a super, super sweet find. There's also that time when something's waiting for you and you know it's waiting for you because maybe there's a message on it that you're like, okay, I hear you, God. I know you're trying to get my attention. So I couldn't even believe that this kind of message was on something at the antique shop, something that had been made so long ago, because it's so something for today. So I found this little throw pillow, and it's lovingly stitched, and it says, "Tomorrow begins today." And that's something that I'm always thinking about with habits, with workouts, with eating well, with getting a good night's sleep, with doing the work I need to do, all those kind of things, to not put it off until tomorrow. Sometimes I often tend to say, oh, I'll start that on Monday because everything's fresh in a new week. So if I mess up how I'm doing my workouts this week, I'll just start on Monday. Well, no, tomorrow starts today. Tomorrow begins today. So now I'm not only gonna be reminded in my head and in my heart, but also on my sweet little pillow. So this was just like a lightning bolt hitting me. To find it cross-stitched on a pillow, God was like, I'm trying to tell you something, and if I need to put it on a pillow, I'm gonna do it. So I loved this find. It was super, super sweet. I can't wait to style it in my home and have that sweet reminder. So thanks so much for tuning in. You can join my Facebook group where we talk all things vintage. I share fun things and fun finds and questions, and you can share your items over at Call Me Old Fashioned. So Call Me Old Fashioned group, I've got a link here for you. It's also in the notes, and you can go down and click on and join. There's no fee to join the group. You just answer a couple questions, and then I let you come on in and you get to talk all things vintage with me and the other people that are part of the group. It's a great, encouraging group of people, so I hope that you'll join there. And also follow along on Instagram, Facebook, all the places that you can find White Arrow's home to keep exploring ideas for decorating and using vintage finds. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time, and follow your arrow.